What's up, guys? This is Jimmy with Hifly Strength Systems, and today I'm going to be going over the Hifly Strength Systems Novice Powerlifting program. This program is really dedicated to making sure that you improve your squat, bench, and deadlift as quickly as possible. So the progression scheme is outlined in a manner that will allow you to do so, but it also makes sure that you don't have too many weak points at the end of your novice phase, which is one of the main problems with a lot of novice programs. Simply don't have enough work programmed in for hypertrophy and preventing long-term weaknesses. And that is what the Hifly Strength Systems novice routine is designed to do and minimize, so that once you move on to the intermediate phase, you're going to be primed to change in direction and allow you to fully maximize your potential in the squat bench. The novice stage is when you are truly primed to build strength and muscle. So by prioritizing just strength, it minimizes the full potential of the athlete. So we need to make sure that we prioritize hypertrophy and strength. As you see here, we have plenty of accessory movements that you can choose to perform. They're not required, but they're the one that is, except the one required movement is a horizontal pull. So we have cable rows, pendlay rows, and barbell rows. For the squat accessory movement, we have front squats, barbell lunges, and dumbbell lunges. The barbell and dumbbell lunges are designed mostly to develop some stability for the novice athlete. Because it's a unilateral movement, you're only using one leg at a time, and so you're able to develop strength in both sides. The front squat, though, is more like the competition movement, but the emphasis is on thoracic mobility and developing a neutral spine throughout the movement. So that's a great exercise selection for the squat. For deadlifts, we have stiff-legged deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, back extension, and leg curls. These are not required, but leg curls are going to be prioritizing the hypertrophy of the hamstring. Then we have Romanian deadlifts and stiff-legged deadlifts, which will be more specific to the actual movement. And then back extensions are really good for developing a solid lockout, engaging the glutes and hips at the end of the movement. Romanian deadlifts are going to be really good for developing hypertrophy, but they're a little bit more taxing, so you got to figure out which one you really want to do. For bench accessory, we have incline barbell press, close grip bench press, and overhead press. I recommend at least doing overhead press once a week, so on this day we can do, say, close grip bench or incline bench, and on the day 2, in the next column on the right, you can add overhead press. So just do overhead press at least once a week, and then incline or close grip bench should be sufficient for improving your bench press on their own. Incline is definitely going to get the front delt and the upper chest, which should help on the bottom portion of the lift a little bit. But overall, it's going to create sufficient hypertrophy to improve your bench and most likely give you the strength that you need to continue with linear progression as long as possible. So that's mostly it for the bench accessories. Again, you can play around with what works best for you in the future. As I said, the horizontal pulls are not optional. You need to do one of them. The cable rows are going to help mostly for hypertrophy. The pendlay rows are really going to be specific for the squat and bench. They help with engaging the erectors and the lats, and they're really great for developing tightness and speed for the deadlift. And then the bent over rows are going to be more specific but less stressful and more for hypertrophy work. Now we have tricep accessories. It's not going to be as required. It is really probably the most optional of all of these accessory movements. We have skull crushers and tricep pushdowns. If you find that you're not getting enough tricep involvement during these workouts, then you can definitely add them, and you're going to be able to get some more meat, I guess, in the tricep, and it might help with lockout strength for the bench press in the competition. Then we have vertical pulls. We have pull-ups, chin-ups, reverse grip lat pull-downs, and wide grip lat pull-downs. I recommend doing at least one of these throughout the week. If you're going to do a chin-up, then on the other day, do a pull-up, or if you do a reverse grip lat pull-down on one day, do a wide grip lat pull-down on the other day. Then for shoulder health, which people seem to get annoyed about, we have rear delt flies and face pulls, which are very good for making sure that your shoulder girdle is healthy and preventing injuries long term. Now that's just for one day, so each one of these accessory movements is separated from upper, lower 1 and 2. There's 2 upper body days and 2 lower body days. So on the right side is going to be the accessory movements that you choose for the second lower and upper body day. I recommend trying to have as much variety as possible. So if you do front squats one day, it might be beneficial to do lunges on the other day to work on both thoracic extension and then also hypertrophy and stability in the squat. It's important to note that on upper body day 2, you're actually squatting as well as the other upper body work, and on lower body day 2, you're going to be benching. So keep that in mind when selecting your accessory movements for the upper and lower day 2, because if you think adding squats to the upper body day is going to limit your ability to perform some of the accessory movements, then you'll have to play around with that and figure out what you can recover from and what you can manage. You should really only focus on what you need to do in order to progress. So if you find that something that you're adding isn't really helping you that much and is taking up too much time in the gym or something, then you might as well skip it and do something more effective, because it's just a big waste of time to do things just because they are really crazy and going to add so much more volume when they're just really not helping much and you don't even want to do them in the first place. So the goal is to enjoy the program and to consistently progress. So if either you're not enjoying the program or you're not progressing, then you need to change something up and make it more enjoyable and hopefully help you to progress. If you are from the US, you can use pounds to do the program, and if you're from basically everywhere else in the world, you can use kilograms. Uh, Up here, you'll see that there's an estimated 1 rep max. So if you're ever trying to figure out where you are progression-wise, you can just type in your most recent workout, and it'll give you the estimated 1 rep max. Don't worry, the program is actually updated, so this video is not showing the correct estimated 1 rep max, but when you download the program, it will be updated, so you won't have to worry about it. In order to track your progress here, you're going to make sure you remember how much weight you're lifting each day and how many reps you perform. What this is going to do for the main movements is that it's going to, and when I say main movements, I mean the squat, bench, and deadlift. The squat, bench, and deadlift are automatically calculated so that depending on how many reps you do at a given weight, the next week's loading will be automatically determined. And here's how it goes. So let's say you do 60 pounds for 3 sets of 6. That's going to be 18 reps. And as you see here at the bottom, that's going to add 10 pounds to the next workout. If you do anywhere in between 10 and 17 reps, it's going to add 5 pounds. And if you can only get the minimum reps per set, that's 9 reps, then it's only going to add 2.5 pounds. For the other movements, so like the cable rows, tracking progress for how many reps you do is going to allow you to track your volume, which is important. It's an important variable to look at long term to see maybe where you can add and where you can take away from volume in order to allow for continuous progress on the competition movements. In order to progress on the other movements other than the squat, bench, and deadlift, all you need to do is be able to perform, let's say the cable rows for 3 sets of 12 at a given weight. So if you can only perform cable rows at 30 pounds for 3 sets of 8, then don't add weight until you can do 3 sets of 12. So each workout then you'd only add 1 or 2 reps per set until you can do 3 sets of 8 of 12, and then you can add maybe 5 to 10 pounds depending on the machine, or if you're using dumbbells or whatever you're using for the movement. You should probably only add 5 to 10 pounds to make sure you can actually get the minimum reps for the next workout. The progression scheme for the squat and the bench press are exactly the same. However, in the deadlift it's slightly different because the total rep count is lower. You're only doing 2 sets of 3 to 6 versus 3 sets of 3 to 6. So the program will add 10 pounds to the next workout if you get 12 total reps, and it'll add 5 pounds if you get anywhere in between 7 total reps and 11 total reps, and then it'll add 2.5 pounds if you only get 2 sets of 3. It's going to be required for you to use microplates in order to progress properly, because the 2.5 pound increments are not possible without them. Something we didn't go over is that there is an additional core exercise, front planks and side planks. Side planks are going to strengthen the obliques, and the front planks are going to probably strengthen the obliques, but mostly the transverse abdominis, and this is a crucial muscle in terms of learning how to brace. Most novice lifters have very weak cores, and as a result, they're not able to get their spine in proper position and alignment during the squat and deadlift. So by strengthening both the obliques and the transverse abdominis, we are going to see much better lifters at the end of the training cycle. This is a 12-week program, so stick with it and hopefully you enjoy it. If you have any questions, you can always email me at hiflystrength@gmail.com. As always, I encourage you all to rise from within.